Have you ever thought, I'd like to write a book? And then in the next thought, but I'm not a good writer. Or you dismissed it for another date, like I'll do it later. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. I've got Laura Baxter here to share about her upcoming training, where she's going to be revealing the roadmap you need to write and publish your own solo book. Now, this training is going to be a game changer for those of you who have a message to share and have not been able to move forward. So I'm super excited for for Laura to get into the details. Welcome, Laura. Let's first get to know you. Tell us a little bit about your background and especially with helping authors and your expertise.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for having me, and hello, everyone. Yeah, I've just like all of our members at Women Speakers Association, I've been speaking and training and coaching for well over 20 years, 25 years now, and it's just expected in our area that you also write articles, write books, etc. And so as I said, I've been doing the coaching, training, speaking for over 25 years. I teach at the university as well. I'm a TEDx speaker and coach. And I've written or co-written 6 books, including Dealing with Divas and other difficult personalities, which was an #1 international bestseller and hit #1 in 9 countries. And about 7 years ago, I became very active in publishing and have helped many of our authors. We publish internationally, literally on our authors are from 4 continents. So it's we've really got some amazing authors, and we've helped them become best-selling authors. We help them get their book out there to be able to use that as their business card when they're presenting their work to organizations, to associations, if they're going to be doing speaking, or to corporate as well. So that's about a little bit about me.
Yeah, you have run the gamut there and have a lot of experience with publishing. I love that you're international as well. So you have this roadmap for writing and publishing a solo book. Who really should consider following this roadmap?
Anyone who is in the speaking or coaching or training business should consider writing a book for a variety of reasons. In in the coaching, training, and speaking world, we have different methods that we want to communicate with to our clients or to help our clients with, and a book is an excellent way to both to organize your thoughts as well as to as I mentioned before, use it as a type of business card when you're going to when you are going to give a talk. It helps the people, the organizers of the event, to actually be able to know more about your work, have more, know more about what you'll be doing with their participants. Also, as far as that goes, in the speaking world itself, it's almost a given that you've got to have a book. And it's, of course, it looks very good if you've got an international best-selling book, especially an international best-selling book. And in addition to that, anyone who is just dying to get their message out there, if you've got something that you've been wanting, be it an autobiographical message, or if you've got a message that you've been wanting to share with the world, and you believe that through this message you're going to make someone else's life easier, better, that you're enriching the world in some way, a book is one of the best ways, I would say the best way to do that, to communicate your story, that one thing that you want to get out to the world. And quite honestly, anyone who wants to be recognized as an authority in their area. We say an authority. If you really want to be an authority, it really helps to be an author. So that's who.
Yeah. I mean, building your credibility through a book, positions you with the media. It's amazing, right?
Oh yeah.
You say you have a book and then they perk up a little bit. They want a quote from you. You can get way more attention and you can leverage it in your business as well. And I know you've helped launch bunches of authors. So what do you do that really gets them over when they're stuck, whether they're stuck due to fear or lack of time or skill, they're feeling bad writer, or they really can't write? What would you do?
there are a lot of different things in the situation where they can't write. Then, if they, getting their ideas down and organized is something that everyone can do. And once you get to that stage, then we can have editors or other, there are other means of getting help. The most important thing is to set a schedule, is to say, okay, if you've decided to write a book, if this has been on your bucket list for a while, let's just put it that way. And I know it was on my bucket list for quite a few years before I actually just did it. And I have to say, one of the best ways to get started with the Women Speakers Association, we have the collaboration book, and that the book of Voices of the 21st Century. And that is one of the best ways just to get started, period. That is to be in a collaboration book where you're kind of just testing the water, see how you like it, see what the process is, getting to know it better. If you're ready to go for your solo book, which is what we're going to be talking about next week, if you're ready to go for a solo book where you're the author on the book, there are a variety of things that you have to be very clear about. And these are some of the things we'll be talking about next week as well. You've got to be clear about what your message is going to be. What the goal of this book is, how you're going to use this book in your work. You have to be very aware of who your reader is and what they need, creating your avatar basically for your book. And once you're clear about that, and you get the structure, get the structure of your book ready, then set a schedule and don't accept excuses. I can tell you, certainly dealing with divas would have been written a lot faster. I not just said, I don't feel like writing today or whatever. Just make sure you set a schedule and say, even if what comes out is absolute trash, just sit down and write every day. And as part of that, find the time of day, or look at your activities and find the time of day where you're most creative. So, for example, I'm really creative when I wake up first thing in the morning. I'm not a morning person. This is not about that, but still lying in bed, these ideas come. That's a place where I need to have something to write down. I have to have a pen and pad, or the computer, the laptop, something there that I can just write those ideas that come in that moment. So watch yourself. One of the authors I've spoken to recently, she's most creative right after she exercises. So watch yourself, observe that, set a schedule, and start honing your schedule so that it really fits the creative phases of your day, so that you're most productive. And probably the last thing I would recommend, as far as helping an author that gets stuck, is to have a community of others that can not only people that react differently if they've got accountability partners or not, but it's certainly nice to be able to share your wins and share that you got this chapter done or whatever. So to have a community to support you in some form.
Yeah, having that community can make all the difference. And also, I love this idea of when you're most creative. And I was thinking, okay, well, if I'm in bed and I'm just waking up, my handwriting's not very good in the morning. I'm not going to type, but I could record a voice memo.
Yeah.
I could record something and just like, okay, this chapter about such and such, and here's a couple of phrases that came to mind, and just grab that phone. And we all have recording devices now, even if it's video or audio, it doesn't matter. So because in today's world, we have automatic transcription services. So if you're better at talking, like, this is great to get over that stuck point. I love these tips. And I know you're going to be covering
Absolutely
a lot more on September 11th. So on September 11th, Laura's training is called The Author's Authority, Your Roadmap to Writing and Publishing Your Own Solo Book. So you're going to get the whole roadmap, right? And just so people know, it's at 2 p.m. Pacific. And that means in Sydney, it's the next day at 7 a.m. on the 12th. So tell us, Laura, what are people going to take away from the Author's Authority, Your Roadmap to Writing and Publishing Your Own Solo Book training?
We're going to look at the different phases of writing your book, basically. And we'll start by talking about what the different types of books are that let's say you want to write a book, you don't know what you want to write about at all. We're going to look at the different types of books that you can produce. I mean, there are a lot of different possibilities. We'll look at that. We'll look at basically different techniques for discovering and shaping your creative power in finding what to do on that when you're writing your book, and also to set how to find your unique story in that sense. Um, we'll also be talking about the entire publishing process. That sounds very dramatic. A very brief overview of the whole process, just so you've got an idea of what to expect when you write a book and you publish the book. What exactly, when we talk about that, what's involved? And will do at least one demo to see to help one of our guests there um, find their kind of see where they're at in their process, and say what the next steps would be to kind of talk you through that, so it becomes much more real. We'll see if we can. We may even be able to demos. We'll have to see. Okay, but that's what we'll be covering, and also there'll be some further insights to the writing process and to the publishing process, so that you've got a good idea of what to expect when
There's
you
really a
actually
step-by-step overview from
yeah.
conception to creation of this book, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I,
because the authors that come to me are just at different phases in their process. Some have been writing for some time, some are just thinking about the idea. So we'll be going through basically all those different aspects.
I think it's also going to give people a reality check on what's involved and how to make it accessible, because what you just covered, all those different steps, cannot be done. Well, it can be done by one person, but it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of different skills and expertise, right?
It can't be done by one person. I mean, seriously, it can't. If you can't edit your own work.
That's true.
So you could organize it. One person could organize all of it, but not the organizing of it is a lot of work. But if you really want to publish a quality book, and if this is going to be representative of your work, then it's got to be a high quality book. Then in that case, basically, it's essential to have professional people help you with it, professional editors, professional graphic designers, etc. Yeah.
Is there a piece of advice you'd give someone right now who has been putting off writing and publishing a book? They know they have an idea, maybe it's not the right time, or I'll get to it. What would you ask of them to consider doing?
I think the first question is to ask yourself, are you really serious about it? If you're really serious about it, then the next question is, what are you waiting for? If you're really serious about getting this done, then you've got to get started. That's not going to be done in a week. And so that would be really the first piece of advice. The second is what we've already talked about just observing yourself and finding those moments where you're most creative, and to set a very strict schedule for yourself. And last but not least, and perhaps something for next week, is if you would like some feedback on where you are in your process and what your next steps are, then join us next week and take this week, really these 6-7 days, whatever, and think about what it is exactly that you would like to do on your book, and bring that with you next week, and we can talk about it.
And just so you know, for anyone who is a Women Speakers Association Premier member, you get this training absolutely free. It comes with your membership. If you're not, you can pay for it. You can go to speakersuccesstraining.com. It's quite reasonable for a masterclass like you're doing. And for getting actual coaching on where you're at, it's only $24.97. So, but you can go to joinwsa.com and become a member and get the benefits of all of the Women Speakers Association trainings. Every month we do a speaker success training, and we do networking meetings, and we give you visibility on the WSA TV premiere show, Women's Premiere Show. So there's tons and tons more benefits that you might want to look into. But Laura, I am really looking forward to your training next week on the author's authority, your roadmap to writing and publishing your own solo book. For those of you who are members, the link to join that training comes in your Monday morning email. And so check your email for an email from support@womenspeakersassociation.com. And if you don't have it, email support at womenspeakersassociation.com and let us know, and we'll get you that information. We'll make sure you get the newsletter. So, Laura, thank you so much for, first of all, today's preview of the Author's Authority Roadmap to Writing and Publishing Your Own Solo Book training that you're doing on September 11th. And we will see you there. And I can't wait, because it's going to help so many women get their message out there in the world. At least take that next step and build that momentum and have a community that's supporting you and cheering you on. So thanks again, Laura.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Thanks a
We'll
lot.
see you.
I look forward to seeing everybody there next week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.